Okay, guys, good evening once again, and we are back to this session. And in today's session, we're going to talk about speed, time, and distance. And just like the last session, we will be using the concept of ratio and try and solve questions on speed, time, and distance. So, this is the agenda of the day. And if you haven't, give me a sec, yeah. If you haven't followed us on the social media on Instagram, Facebook, do that. We are sharing daily updates on daily quizzes and vocabulary every day on all the social media that we have, right? So that's the case. And hi Anuj, hi Piyush, welcome to the session. So today is going to be a very interesting class, and I hope you remember that yesterday I gave you an understanding of what proportion is, what is a third proportion form, what is a fourth proportion form, what is a continued proportion. We also discussed about the componendo and dividendo concept, and we understood what do we mean by direct proportion and inverse proportion, right? So this is where we ended up our session yesterday, and those who are joining us in today's session, they can always check out the previous videos in the playlist below. The playlist has all the videos, and due to the lockdown, sometimes our the once we are done with the live class, the class takes time to upload. This is what is happening at the YouTube side. So we have the playlist at the bottom, so you can always check the playlist and the links below. Hi Harshit, hi Harsh, hi Aditya, hi Harshit. Okay, guys. So let's start with the concept and usage of ratios in speed, time, and distance questions. I have taken some variety of selected questions which have been most frequently asked in the previous banking and SSC and MBA entrance examinations. The concept is again based on ratios. So let's have a look at the very first question. So here's the question process. What is the speed of A? The speed of A is 4.5. What is the speed of B? It is 6, right? The ratios are how much? 3 ratio 4. 3 ratio 4. Imagine both of them starting from the 0 point. And since the time is constant, so who reaches first? It is obvious that B reaches first. And A would be ending up somewhere over here. As simple as that, right? So B reaches first and A will be reaching somewhere over here. So if 4 is what corresponds to 1000, what would 3 correspond to? 3 would correspond to 750. Yes or no? Because the time is constant, and if both of them have to complete the same race, so by the time B reaches the finishing point, that is 1000 meter, there the distance traveled by A would be 750 meters. Why? Because time is constant, so speed 1 upon speed 2 would be equal to distance 1 upon distance 2. So if this is 3, this is 4, and the one with a speed of 6 completes the race, covers the entire distance. So if 4 is 1000, how much is 3 equal to? 3 is equal to 750. So now the gap is of 250 meters. Had both of them started at the same point, that is 0 meters, A would have lost by 250 meters. If paying attention. So if both of them have started from here, A would have lost by 250 meters. But A has a start of how many? 190 meters. Then it is only a 60-meter lead which B has now. So B will win the distance by how many? 60 meters, right? So the correct answer to this is 60 meters and not 76. Yes, that's the correct answer, right? So let's move on to the next question, guys. Now, if you can figure this one out, please pay attention what is happening over here in this particular case. In a 400-meter race, if A beats B by 80 meters and B can beat C by 40 meters, then in the same race, A can beat C by how many meters? So the very first instance, what is happening over here? This is a 0 meter, this is a 400 meter, right? Now A beats B by 80 meters. So if A is over here, B is somewhere over here in this particular race. Now, this question does not mean that in this very race B is beating C by 40 meters. No. If the second instance, now if both B and C run the same race, which is 400 meters. So if B and C are running the same race, in that case, B can beat C by 40 meters. So if B is over here, C is here at 360 meters, right? So now the question says that if now A and C run this race, if now A and C run this race, how far would C be behind of A in the same race? This is the question, right? So I hope you have understood the question. Now you have to again understand that what is constant over here. In both the scenarios, did B finish the race in the first case? No. Did C finish the race in the first case? No. The race was over by the time A reached the finish line. By the time A reached the finish line, so race was over here itself. This means that the time is constant. Again, the time is constant. So by the time A reaches over here, in the same time B reached only here. And time was constant, so the ratio of the distances traveled by them would be equal to the ratio of the speeds, right? तो प्यारे मोहन जी देखते हैं आपका आंसर ठीक है या नहीं डोंट वरी दिस इज इट राइट सो व्हाट वी नाउ डू इज वी ट्राई एंड डेवलप a relationship between the ratios of the speeds of A, B, and C. Whatever the ratio between the distance between the two is gonna be the ratio between the speeds of the two people, right? So if A is completing 400 meters, in the same time, B is completing 320 meters. And if B is completing 400 meters, C is completing only 360 meters. Why? Because C loses by 40 meters. Please pay attention, right? So we divide it by say 10 and then 10 and 8. Let us not have it 5 and 4. Let us have it 10 and 8, right? And this again, and this goes 10 and 9. Got it? So we have 100 over here, 80 over here, and 72 over here. As simple as that. But since we're supposed to run 400-meter race and A being the fastest, A has to cover how many meters? 400. So you did what? You multiplied it by 4, and similarly you're going to multiply this also by 4. So 7 fours are is 28, 28 is 280, 288. So the gap between these two is absolutely correct. 112 meters is what C would be lagging. Pyare Mohan, don't worry. Your answer is absolutely correct. Congratulations. And you have to stay with me till the end of this session. Why? Because in every session, every day, whenever I come, we at JC Academy are giving away a 6-month test pass absolutely for free. So whomsoever gives the most correct answers in today's session is most responsive and most prompt and studies best gets a free 6-month test pass, right? So you'll be getting a 6-month test pass in which you can give mock tests for all the upcoming examinations like SSC, banking, railways, insurance, everything will be given from our side. So you have to stay with me till the end of the session, right? Okay, so that's the entire thing. So I hope you've understood this concept. So what are we trying to do is we are trying to understand that if time is constant and we are exploiting this ratio to help and solve this question with a lot of ease. Let me take one more question in this way so that we have a rounded approach to it, right? So now again a question. So in a kilometer race, A beats B by 100 meters. A beats B by 100 meters and C by 200 meters. So in the same race, A is at the finish line, B is 100 meters behind A, and C is 200 meters behind A. How many meters can B beat C in a race of 1350 meters? Now, this is a comparatively easier one. How come? Let's have a look. This is 1000-meter mark. A is standing over here, just 100 meters behind A. At the 900-meter mark, we have B, and another 100 meters behind B is C standing at the 800-meter mark. This is 0 meters. Got it? So again, the time is constant. So if I say I have got two people running, so this is where the race starts, and this at some point over here the race ends. This is the gap, right? So this is what is happening. Now, what we can understand is since the time is constant, the ratio of the speed will be equal to the ratio of the distances traveled by them. And if A is traveling or running 1000 meters, B is running 900 meters, C is running 800 meters. So it will be easy for us to understand that the ratio between these speeds is also 10 ratio 9 ratio 8. Is also 10 ratio 9 ratio 8. Right? So if I have a 1350 meter race, the distances traveled by B and C would be what? In the ratio 9 ratio 8. So if 1350 corresponds to 9 parts, all we are supposed to is to understand how much would 8 parts be equal to, right? Or to put it the other way around, since I'm asking by how many meters B beats C, so B would beat by only one part. So if 9 parts are equal to 1350, how much would one part be equal to? So all you need to is to divide 1350 by 9. And how many nines are 135? Everybody knows 15 nines are 135, so 150 meters. With so much of ease, with so less of calculation, you can do this, provided you grasp this very concept of the ratios. And how can we use it? We understood the time was constant, so the ratio of the distances traveled by them would be equal to the ratio of the speeds. And here we are able to find the ratio of the speeds. And with this particular help, now the second part says that if B and C run, by how many meters B is going to beat C. So if B and C are going to run, so in the second instance, what is going to happen is, let me take this over here. Once again, I'm gonna give you an explanation again in case you haven't got it right. So if they are running and this is where B reaches, B has to reach first now because the speed is more than A. So again, since the ratio of the speed is 9 ratio 8, so if this is 9 parts, this is somewhere would 8 parts be, and the gap between them would be 1 part. So if 9 parts is 1350, how much would 1 part be? It will be 150, as simple as that, right? So having understood the very basic concepts on how you can apply the concept of ratio in these races questions, let's move forward and take some easy ones. And with the help of those easy questions, we're going to develop a concept still further. Please pay attention to this question now. What does this question say? Now this question says, walking at 3/4 of his usual speed, a man covers the distance in 2 hours more than the time he takes to cover the distance at his usual speed. The time taken by him to cover the distance with his usual speed, right, is how much? Now, please pay attention. In the previous three questions, it was time which was constant. But in this question, is time constant? No. In this question, what is constant is the distance. Is the distance, right? So in this question, what constant is the distance? So let the man go from point X to point Y. So walking at 3/4 of his usual speed. What do you mean by this? 3/4 of his usual speed. So we're supposed to calculate 3/4 of the usual speed. So now we don't know what the usual speed is. So generally what you guys do is you guys take speed as x or s or whatever it is. But since we have to find 3/4 of a speed, so what we do is we do usual speed we take as 4 and the reduced speed as 3 or maybe 4s or 3s, whatever you want to have, right? Since the distance is constant, so S1 upon S2 should now be equal to T2 upon T1 because there's an inverse relationship which is existing. I've already explained this to you in the last class, so we're not going to spend any much time on this. So this is what is happening, right? So this is the speed then, and this is the speed now. Remember this, right? So he's saying walking at 3/4 of his usual speed. So usual speed was 4 and the current speed is 3. You can have 4s or 3s, hardly makes a difference. Since you're discussing in terms of ratio, they're gonna get cancelled. A man covers a certain distance in 2 hours more. 2 hours more. So now it is taking him 2 hours more. So T2 has to be having 2 hours more. So suppose the original time was T. And how much hours more? 2 hours more. Then the time taken by him to cover it at the usual speed, it is T. Got it? So if you have understood this very concept, the question now becomes very easy. We are supposed to find the usual time, that is t. Now, as you can see now, they've got two options. Either you have to cross multiply and solve t, or you can simply see that on the right hand side, the difference between the numerator and denominator is 2. And on the left hand side, the difference is 1. So, to equate both the things, we can equate the differences. So, we have to rewrite this as 8 upon 6, and this becomes t plus 2 upon t. So now the gap is 2, the gap is 2. We can directly see that the T is how much? 6 hours. So the T is 6 hours. Option number 3 is the correct answer in this case, right? So this is an easy method of getting things done, uncomplicating the process, right? We tend to complicate things. We assume X, Y, Z, all those. Only ratios are sufficient. Let's have a look at the next question. The next question says a train running at 7/11th of its own speed reaches a place in 22 hours. So at 7 by 11th of speed, time is how many? 22 hours. How much time could be saved if the train would run at its own speed? So let the own speed be 11s and let the reduced speed be 7s. Why? Because the question says that he is running at 7/11th of the original speed, right? Or the own speed, right? So again, the distance is same. So we can say that S1 upon S2 will be equal to T2 upon T1. As simple as that, right? Okay, let's have a look. 18 hours, 8 hours you're saying? Let's see. No issues. So S1 is say 7, S2 is 11. This is the reduced speed. This is the original speed. So we have the original time and we have the reduced time. As simple as that. So 11 how many are 22? 11 twos are 22. The numerator you have to equate. So 14 hours is what he would be taking at the normal speed. But Mr. Rajnikant, Mr. Anuj, Mr. Shashank, Mr. Danesh, he is not asking you about the usual time. The question is saying how much time could be saved. So, कितना समय बचेगा? The difference between the two is what is asked. So, 8 hours will be the correct answer, right? 14 hours is what will take him to get the job done if he moves to this normal speed. But at the reduced speed, he will take 11 hours. So, this is it. Right? Oh, 22 hours. So, 8 hours is the difference. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. So, if a boy walks from his house to school at the rate of 4 kilometers per hour, he reaches the school 10 minutes earlier than the scheduled time. However, if he walks at the rate of 3 kilometers per hour, he reaches 10 minutes late. Find the distance of his school from his house. So now again the distance is constant. This guy is going from his home to his school. Those were the days when boys and girls used to go from their homes to the school. Now, home school is the same thing. They are not going anywhere. They're at their home, right? So, if a boy walks from his house to school at the rate of 4 kilometers per hour, so at 4 kilometers per hour, he reaches 10 minutes early. This chap is 10 minutes early. And if he walks at the speed of, say, 3 kilometers an hour, he is 10 minutes late. 10 minutes late. Find the distance of his school from his house. So, distance is equal to speed into time. As simple as that. And the distance is same in both the cases. So, either we find S1 T1 or we find S2 T2, one and the same thing because distance is same, right? So, S1 is 4, S2 is 3. Yes or no? And if the original time is say t minutes, if the original time is say t minutes, so in the first case, this fellow is 10 minutes early, which happens to be t1. So t1 is t minus 10 minutes, and t2 is t plus 10 minutes. Now we need not bother what we are having. You saying, sir, over here we are having kilometers per hour, over here we are having minutes, hardly makes a difference. Why? because bacha party over here we are comparing in terms of ratios, right? This is seen as a ratio, this is also seen as a ratio, so hardly matters, right? So now don't cross multiply and solve for t, that is going to be a lengthy process. Just have a look over here. The difference between the numerator and denominator is 20 units, 20 minutes, right? Over here the difference is how much? 1. So to make this difference as 20, we multiply both the numerator and denominator by 20. So this thing comes as how much? 60 minutes. This thing comes as 60 minutes. So your this time, which time? This time when he was before time, when he was before time, when he was 10 minutes early. So when this fellow was 10 minutes early, he was taking how many? 60 minutes. So, and that particular time, his speed was 4 kilometers per hour. So S1 T1 would be 4 into T1 is how much? This is T1. Let me write T1 over here, T2 over here, S1 over here, and S2 over here. So S1 T1 will be 4. Now we have to convert this into hours. So 4 into 1 give me 4 kilometers. That's it. So this can be done with a lot of ease, and you need not do any equations or anything. You can do it with a lot of ease, right? Okay, let us take up one more question for the day, and then we'll call it a day because this is what I have planned for the day. Okay, there is some issue at my studio, so we'll have to wind this up early because of some power cuts happening, and I've been getting some indications from my team that we'll have to wind this session in the next 2, 3, 4 minutes because the power backup is gone, right? So unfortunately, we'll have to wind this up, right? So the ratio of the time taken by a car, bus, and train. So there is a car, there is a bus, and there is a train to cover the same distance. So this is the ratio of the time. That is 3 ratio 5 ratio 2. Time into speed will give us the distance. Are we good to do? Yes. And distance is same in each case. Yes or no? Yes. And we know that we multiply time and speed to get distance, and they are covering the same distance. So if the distance is same, the best part is that you take the LCM of these values 3, 5, and 2. That happens to be 30, 30, 30, and 30. Right, so 30, 30, 30. So how do we get 30? Multiply time with speed. So 3, how many is the 30? 10 za. 5, how many is the 30? 6 za. And 2, how many is the 30? 15 za. So 10 ratio 6 ratio 15 is the correct answer. Yes, Shashank, Kuldeep, Rajnikant, Pyare Mohan is the one who's giving the most of the right answers today. And congratulations, dear Pyare Mohan. You get a free 6 month test pass from JC Academy. And let me congratulate you. So, Pyare Mohan, assuming your screen name is Pyare Mohan, I'm addressing you as Pyare Mohan, right? Okay. So now, Pyare Mohan, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to please text your email ID and phone number on this particular number so we can get this activated. There would be a certain delay in getting this activated. Why? Because there is some repair or some maintenance job happening at the server. So Danish, your also is stuck in the server. As in when they are through with the maintenance work, your IDs are automatically gonna get activated, right? So Pyare Mohan, you're gonna send me your email ID and the phone number on this particular number so that we can activate your test series. Meanwhile, you have to download the JC Academy app from the Play Store, get yourself registered with the same email ID and the phone number. So I hope I had a few more questions to discuss, but I'll be taking them tomorrow because I have 2, 3, 4 more questions, right? So I have to wind up early, unfortunately, because of the power cut happening because of the summers, and we are little stuck with this. Can't help it. Meanwhile, you can like, share, and subscribe, and tell it to your friends about this video sessions. We're gonna catch you up again tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna come up with a short video, a very helpful video for you guys, and see you on Monday. Monday, we'll be taking up certain questions on speed, time, and distance because I'm yet to take up questions on relative speed and solve them with the help of ratio and proportion. After that, we're going to take up certain concepts of time and work also with the help of ratio and proportion. And then we'll move on to the next topic that will be percentage, right? So application of ratio proportion, I hope you are getting a good rounded approach on how to solve these, and I hope this is beneficial to you guys as well. So guys, gonna catch you up on Monday. Till then, bye bye. God bless you. Have a nice day, and congratulations to you, Pyare Mohan, once again. Bye bye. God bless you.